Right, so after making the eyes, we're going to go on to making the head. I've got two pieces of cord here, one 30 inches long and one 22 inches long. I'm going to more or less find the centres of both, which is about there. And we're going to tie these into a double diamond knot. Now, that 22-inch piece is a bit on the tight side, but once we've tied the knot, there's an excess. So let's go for the double diamond around the thumb. Pinch those two so we got a loop. Yeah, so like so. Place it over the two vertical ones. Pull the two vertical ones up through so that we have a loop there. We now want to put these two vertical ones underneath those side ones and through that loop that we just made. So 1 and 2. Pull them together and we have our diamond knot. Got a bit too much on the loop here, so I'll just pull some of that up through the knot without losing the loop. Now which way do I want to go? No, these are the long ones already, so what we'll do is we'll take it up the other half of the knot, which is this one. So we'll just pull some of the bottom loop up through and then extend these two so that we got some cord to work with. Now it's worthwhile just checking here that everything's laying correctly. I can see that this one is diving underneath that one, so I just want to get that back into shape. Twist it like that, and we're looking pretty good now. We've got two going all the way around here and two going all the way around, so that's pretty good. Now I'll just make a little indentation in the middle so that we got our diamond again. Hope you can see that. Now we're going to whisper these two around that bottom loop there and back up through the diamond. That's one. Do apologise for any noisy neighbours outside, but it is sort of the time when the kids come home from school. So that's two up through that diamond knot. Now we've got to get these two also up through, past these two at the base here. And I know that they got a trampoline next door, so the kids get a little bit excited at this time of day. But I'm sure we can work past that. And then the last one up through the diamond knot, hopefully. There we go. Keeping hold of those two at the base all the time. Right, so we have 4 cords coming up through the diamond knot. Of course, 2 are shorter than the other 2, and there's a reason for that. We'll come to that in a minute. Now we're going to tease all of that into a knot, slowly but surely. Not too worried about loose bits and pieces at the moment because we're going to be tying it tighter. I am interested in keeping everything looking as though it's parallel with each other. So it's worth taking a bit of time following around. It's like that one there is crossed over. So that one needs to come up slightly bit fiddly, but it's worth spending a bit of time at this point to make sure that we've got all of our double lines going where we need them. So there we go. It's getting there, slowly but surely. Starting to look like a round sphere. Now I like to get it fairly tight before I start pulling any of this loop through. At this time also we need to make up our mind whether we're going to have a loop on the top, i.e. for like a key ring, or if we're going to make both of these loops disappear down into the knot. I think I'm going to leave one loop on this one. Now that's looking somewhere near the shape that I want it, and we've got two short ones which are going to be the arms and two long ones which are going to be the legs. Right, so now that we've got it fairly tight, not overly tight, we're going to start to work probably that large loop down through. You just follow down through to where they actually come. I believe it's that one. I might be wrong. Let's think about this now. I think it might be that one. Yeah. Now, pulling that down through to about there. But I don't want to pull all of that loop through because that's only half the knot tightening. So I've pulled it from that right hand side part of the loop there. I now want to pull the rest of this loop down through, and I think it might be, no, it's not that one. Is it that one? Nope, it's that one. So we're going to pull that loop down through until it disappears. Okay, like that. We're left with two loops on the sides now. That's no problem. We're going to tighten these two up now around the knot, and we need to give it some, well, what I call welly. Give it a bit of a good old tug. Make sure that we're getting all of that slack through the knot. And then these two loops should then come up through the knot. Tighten her up. Of course, we've got this other loop that we want to get rid of now. And I believe that goes that way. Keeping them nice and level together. Travels down through the knot that way. Down through that way. And I believe now that it will actually come through one of these loose ends. Hopefully it's a short one, but it's not. It's a long one, never mind. So, there we have the head with a loop on it. As I say, a loop's optional. We didn't have a loop on this one, so I put a bit of black cord through that. Preferences, that's all it is. Right, so that was two pieces of red 550, one 30 inches long and one 22 inches long. That should be ample. So, right, what we actually need now is a 10-inch piece of black. Now this is more than 10 inches. It's just a piece of scrap that I had, so it's got the ends melted over and I can use it. Now what we're going to do is decide on which is going to be the front and which is going to be the back. And it's a matter of sort of just finishing that knot off nice and tight and seeing what your preference is. Now I like that as a front. The reason being is there's a V that sort of like denotes a nose. So we're going to have the arms coming out like so and the legs going down like that. Now what we do with the black at the moment is again find the centre, just loop it over the head and to around the neck. I'm going to tie one snake knot with this. Right, I've worked out now where we should be, and basically it's over the head and then holding the two arms up in the air and restricting the loop on the black, i.e. like so. We can then tie our first snake knot, which is your left over these three here, back under, and we have a crossover point. The other black underneath the two reds, up under this crossover point, just here, and then back down through the loop. Now the idea is to get that snake knot just in the right position. As I say, the arms are restraining it, so if we can get it nice and tight, just about on its chest. Not too high, and we don't want it too low either. We need to go up a little bit. Let's take a little bit of that up so, and then tighten that knot up. So as you can see, we got the black over the top of the arms, i.e. I had the arms up like that, and then I tied my first snake knot. And that's fairly tight now. Now the idea is that the blacks then become the core, and the two reds would tie the next snake knot. So we take one to one side and one to the other side. Yeah. We take the left hand side one over all those three, back under. Form a crossover point just here. Red one comes under the blacks, up round that crossover point there, back down through the loop there. And with a bit of luck, we should be able to maneuver that first red snake knot to marry up with the black one, like so. Yeah. We just make sure we got that nice and tight. So we've got a black snake knot, a red snake knot. We need two more red snake knots. So again, keep this one just outside of that black, bring that round, back under, gives us a little cross just here, there, yeah. The other red then comes under the blacks, under that crossover point there, down through the loop, take in some slack and just work the knot up the core. give us our second red snake knot. Yeah. Not too bad. So we want one more red one. Again, over the top of them all, underneath, make the crossover, bring the red round, underneath that crossover point, through the red circle, and we should have our last snake knot for the body. Yeah. So there we have it. So there's our basic body. Yeah. Now we want to do away with these black bits. They're not needed. So what we're going to do is make sure we've got our knot as tight as we want it and in the position we want it. And we're going to cut and melt those two blacks just under the crotch there, not too close. Just melt that one there. Yep. So now we've got two legs and two arms. Now I suppose the next thing we've got to do is work out how long you want the arms. There you go. Probably might need a little bit of singeing there. We've got a little bit of that's it. So that's what we're looking for. Sort of black over the top of its shoulders. First bit of black on the chest and then the body. Well, if we go anything by this one, we want the legs to be about, I've got to take measure, we'll measure them, yeah. Made the legs on the last one 1.5 inches long, so if we take these down 1.5 inches, we should be okay. 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches. We'll give those a quick melt over, not too much, just to stop them fraying, because we're probably going to have to melt something else onto there yet. So that's the legs. Yeah. Now what length did we have the arms? The arms from the black are about 1 inch. Yeah. So we come down there about 1 inch. We'll give it a good inch and a bit. And again, give that a good inch to about there. And melt that. Right. So for all intents and purposes, we got the body and the legs on the go. Now, what do we need to do now? Well, you'll see this, what length was that? Well, this is a 2mm piece of black. And what we've got to do, make with that into is one of these. Yeah. And that's going to be the hand. Also need 2 for the feet. So let me show you again. It's just a small lanyard knot. This is what length did I make that? I think it's about 12 inches. Yeah, 12-inch piece of 2mm paracord, and we're gonna make a lanyard knot with that. So a lanyard knot with this one, same as usual. Pull it through, that one comes round. Making the diamond, hopefully. There's the diamond. I'm going to pull up a bit of the inside ring here because there's too much there. It's because I've got fat fingers. Right, so there we are again. Round the top of that one. And up through the diamond. Round the top of that one and up through the diamond without losing the loop. And we're just going to form that knot nicely, like so. Going to need all those 4 in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the next thing we need is a piece of gutted paracord, black. That one's not gutted, but I've done this already to speed things up. So I've got a piece of black paracord, gutted, and I've cut up small sections. As you can probably see here, we need 8 of them. I've prepared 6 of them there. They're about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch long. They're not in the exact size. But once we've done that, I've done one end, but we have to do the other end. We don't want them to fray. So I just put a piece of heat very close, and I don't know whether you can see that as a shot. It's made it into a tube now, both ends being slightly melted, so we can get away with blue murder with those. That end's melted. Yeah, that end's melted. This end just needs a touch of heat. Okay, now these 8 black pieces are pieces that we're going to slide firstly up onto the arms, up to near the shoulders. Yeah. How we're going to do that? Should have left them long, shouldn't I? Should have left them long, so then I could have actually put it on the fid. But not to worry, we'll get a decent end here, so I can do something with it. Right. I'm going to stick that on the fid. Stick his arm on the fid like so. And we're going to work 2 of these onto his arm. So first one goes on, yeah. And then the second one, because that's going to be his wristband. They might be a little bit tight to begin with, but the fid will sort that out. This isn't a particularly thick fid, as you can see, it's a thinner size one. So we want the first one right up to the shoulder, like so. And the second one will be going around his wrist. Like so, yeah? You can see it on that one, yeah? You can also see the lanyard knots on the ends there. Now, that takes a little bit of doing, but it's all feasibly done. It works out okay. So let's have a look at doing one of those now. So we want some to be able to come up through the center, yeah. So you can put your spike up through the knot or whatever, and then we're going to put the loop onto the arm, yeah, like so. And we just want the bottom of the arm showing through the knot. And then the idea is to tighten that and make that loop. There's two options here. You can either make the loop disappear down through the knot, which is quite easy, or we can tighten it up as it is and cut all the ends off. I'll probably take them through the knots. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to switch off. I'm going to put 2 more collars on this one, yeah, on the arm. I'm going to put 1 each on the bottom of it, 1 each on the bottom of the legs, and I'm going to tie the 4 lanyard knots on, and then I'm going to come back to you, okay? Right, I'm going to show you the last lanyard knot going on this foot. So the idea is that we make a hole up through the knot with a pair of pliers, after we've tied it, of course. Grab hold of the leg. As you can see, I've put the collar on already, which will slide down to the foot. Grab hold of the leg, bring it through, yeah. Now, just a matter of forming that knot. I found that the slower that we can go, the better. Keeps its shape if we just slowly but surely tighten it up. We might end up with 1 loop on it, which we can bring round through if we're lucky. Oh yeah, I can see that there's going to be 1 loop. And there it is, that's the loop. We'll just drag that through the knot. Back up to there. And we should be just about right. Now, a couple of little tricks here. If we work that slowly but surely towards the end, like so, yeah. If we cut them a little bit proud, they'll melt over the end. And with this one, if we can get it to the ultimate point where they're more or less together, yeah, we can cut those, cut that loop off, a little bit proud, and just melt those over, like so. With these two, we cut them a little bit more than proud, because what I like to do is, as I say, get those 2 ends really quite hot, more or less to melting, and then just push them over the red and the white. Not quite achieved it there, but more or less. We can bring our sleeve down. Looks like he's got a boot on then, yeah. Now you will see bits of white here and there where we've singed off. Now you can touch that in with a paintbrush with black, but we are getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting to the stage where we need to put the face on now. Other than that, looking quite good. Right, so as you can see, the eyes are more or less like a diamond shaped piece of black, and that's what I've tried to cut out of that piece of glued cord. Yeah. So the idea now is to actually try and stick them on. I think I'll have a pin for doing that, or maybe 2 pins. Now, you've got a natural bend in the cable, in the cord, natural bend. So what I like to do is put that downwards once I've cut them down. Now, if I can get a pin through one of these, it's pretty difficult because of the glue on the cord. But if I can push a pin through that one, which I think I have, and one through that eye, which I think I have, we can start to try and work out where we want those eyes. Somewhere like so. And somewhere just around there. That's okay, but not fantastic. So let's try and reposition that a little bit better. It's got to come out a bit. He's a bit high, so we'll come down a tad. See what that looks like. Getting there. We're getting there. Right. Don't think we're going to get it much better than that. So the idea now is to super glue those into position. So you have to be pretty quick with this because it glues the pin in otherwise. So let's pull that pin out. Pull that pin out before it gets glued in. Now to finish this off, we need to just dab it with a white acrylic paint. Can you see, trying to muck around with bits of cord as the white parts is going to be a bit awkward. We'll have a go. I'll click you off there while I get my paint. So just to finish this off, I've got a little bit of acrylic white paint there, tiny little paintbrush, like so, and I'm going to attempt to just colour some eyes in. No artist, but there you go. These eyes, I don't think they're quite as good as the original, but in shape. But we'll see what we can do. There are a couple of upside down half moons, the eyes, like a teardroppy sort of thing. Probably need just a tad more than that. There's one. Don't look too bad. As I say, the eyes on the first one were a bit more diamond shaped. Could have taken a bit more time with that one. But there you go. That's the... No, it's not quite the finish yet, is it? Because we haven't got his swords on his back. So let's just quickly make the swords that go on the back. I said earlier that I'd cut 8 of these small pieces, and that's because we only needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the actual body. The other 2 were to actually make some weapons. Now, got loads of these bits and pieces left over of the 2mm. What sort of length do we want to make them? They're about 1.5 inches long, the swords on the other one. So we'll just cut that off at 1.5 inches. Hopefully that will just slip onto there and go through. Yeah, see that one? That's going to be his sword. Now, once we've put that on there, I think we'll just melt the smaller one inside to the bigger one outside. I think that's what I did last time. Like so. Yeah. Make another one of those. Keep them the same size. As I say, it's about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. Make the swords as long as you want, really. As long as they don't look too silly. Just touch that over like so. Put a bit of a point on that one so we can push it up through the handle. Hopefully. Don't want to muck around with fids if I can help it. I think I might have to though. Oh, I think it's going. Yeah, it's gone. Just see the top of it sticking up a little bit proud, so we'll heat them together. Like so. So we've got 2 of those. We want the handles up in the air and we want to cross them over with a touch of super glue just in the middle. See if we can get them together without sticking myself. Yeah, I think we're okay. So we've ended up with that, and that's what we make the swords from. Once we've got the swords, we want to stick them to the back of the project. Now I think I just gave it a little bit of glue on the back and left it at that. And that's the finished project. Well, once I've edited all this, because I've gone wrong a few times, I hope it's beneficial to you. If it is, don't forget to like and subscribe on this video. I'm up to 100 subscribers at the moment. I'd like a few more. Just a little bit of an insight here. Been playing around with my next project, which is going to be Spider-Man. I don't know. Yeah, you might be able to see something there. Be slightly bigger than this one when I finished, but unfortunately with this one I didn't make the cords long enough, so I've got to start again with this one. But watch out for the future Spider-Man. See you later.